Hey guys, Darsh here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the LG G6, aka I'm going to give you guys my full review and my experience after 3 months of using the LG G6. So without any further ado, let's get right into the review. The LG G6 was a phenomenal phone for me to be able to use these past few weeks, just because LG was able to nail the bread and the butter. I mean this in a literal sense, and let me just explain. The LG G6 is fluid and it's smooth just like butter, and performs with close to no hiccups that I've ever experienced. It's an amazing phone that I love holding in the hand just because of the thick, robust design. Plus, I'm always finding myself reverting back to it for some reason and being drawn towards it, and I feel like that's just because it's able to nail the essentials for me. Now, to be honest with you, the LG G6 is kind of a fingerprint magnet. Though my titanium model right here doesn't really deal with that many fingerprints, I know the black edition really does, so I'd highly recommend you guys pick up a D-brand skin if you guys really want to keep that back clean and looking fresh. Any phone for me, one of the key essentials for me is camera quality, fluidity, screen, speakers, and even the method of entry. So for this video in specific, let's go into two categories, performance and media. Starting off with the performance, the LG G6 is just butter. Like I've mentioned 1,000 times before, I cannot over-exaggerate how really smooth and fluid the overall design and UI is. Honestly, it's able to really just complement one another, the design and the overall UI, because it's super fluid and everything kind of just seems together. But one thing that did catch my attention was the fact that the G6 tended to overheat a little bit whenever it was low on battery, which for me at least was just somewhat concerning. Now, just speaking of battery life, the battery is nothing really to be praised. See, I consistently get on average about 3 to 4 hours of screen on time with some pretty heavy use, but I would expect some more just because of how thick of the phone that it is. Now, if you guys haven't seen the LG G6, it's actually a very thick phone. Now, believe it or not, it's super thick, and it honestly has a lot of space in it, so as a lot of people do say about a lot of phones, I feel like it just is a waste of space. There is some space in there that I believe could just be filled with some extra battery, but that's just my thoughts. And other than that, basically the LG G6 doesn't have any other performance issues. The screen is super responsive, the games are fun and fast and fluid, and the fingerprint sensor is super fast, fun to use, and conveniently placed. Moving into the media category, let's get into the camera, which is a huge elephant in the room. The camera on the LG G6 is great. There are two 13 megapixel cameras on the back that kind of make the phone look a little bit reminiscent of a robot, but maybe that's just me. Now, the primary one is the f1.8 aperture lens that is 13 megapixels, and it works great, has great depth of field, and it also has some great exposure settings. Plus, the other one is f2.4, means it has a little bit less exposure to like light, so it lets in a little bit less light, but it's still a really good camera nonetheless, and it's actually the wide angle camera. See, it's a super useful setup because it allows for wide angle shots, and though they're fairly easy to get, not all the time will you see the best results from it, just in my opinion, but the shots do turn out okay. The beauty filter takes away from the sharpness though, so I'd make sure to play around with the manual mode a little bit and turn off the beauty filter for some better and more sharp photos. Now, moving into something else on the phone that I believe is also a huge elephant in the room, and that is the screen. And it's not only due to its 18:9 aspect ratio, and just let me explain. So the new ratio offers a taller and larger screen size without such big bulky bezels, and to be honest with you, it's a pretty good addition. My only gripe is the fact that there are not too many applications or media material that is optimized for the 18:9 aspect ratio, meaning that either in the settings you have to optimize the apps, or during media materials you have to deal with big black bars on the side. Now, some applications like Netflix does let you stretch the screen a little bit, but in places like YouTube, where I like to watch a lot of my videos, or you guys may be watching my videos, you get big black bars on the side. And this is where I think that LG should have taken a page out of Samsung's book and offered the small button in the right corner of the screen during videos to stretch them and fill the screen to its full potential. I personally think that would look amazing, and especially with the HDR capabilities of the screen, it would look fantastic. And last of all, talking about that speaker. Now, nothing has really changed with regard to the speaker. It's still kind of tinny, it's still downwards facing, and it's still not my favorite speaker. With that all being said, my overall conclusion and consensus is 3 words. It's a buy. For myself at least, the LG G6 has been one of my favorite phones to use this past year, and after using different phones like the Samsung Galaxy S8, the LG G6, even the iPhone 7 Plus, This phone honestly gets everything down. It has the bread and butter, and it has everything that you really do need out of a smartphone in 2017, and offers it all in such a nice and simple package. I personally like the brick design, I like the premium materials, and I definitely like that camera, and especially that 18:9 aspect ratio screen. For myself at least, it is a buy, but I highly recommend you guys check it out in store before making any final decisions. With that all being said, thank you guys all so much for watching this video. I hope I was able to be of some help. Now if you guys like this video, smash that like button. I'm trying to get to 100 likes, so let's see if we can get to it down there. Now also, in addition to all of that, comment down any feedback that you guys have, share the video if you guys did enjoy it, and to end off, one last time, subscribe to the channel. With that all being said, for the final time in this video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all later.
Losing my control. Now you wanna know.